It's paintball in the Poconos with a cast of thousands. Scenario Ball takes center stage next on PB2X. Yeah, hey there everybody, come along with me and, well, a couple thousand of my closest friends here today. The Poconos region of Pennsylvania, the skirmish for a little paintball action. I'm James Bates and, well, there's John, Federico, Juan, Jorge, I think Jan, Jill, Jake, all kinds of people. I'll introduce you to everybody as we go along over the next 30 minutes on Paintball 2Xtremes. But first we gotta go check in with Jen and find out what this paintball scenario thing's all about.
James, this is the craziest gathering of paintballers I've ever seen. While you check out the action, I'm going to go find out the wild, wacky, and weird side of the scenario games. The tanks, the camouflage, the attractions and distractions. Now, if you could just find James and his pack of paintballers.
And guys, this is Paul Fogel, the guy responsible for bringing nearly 2,000 people here to skirmish today. And since you are the guilty party, I'll let you give us a Cliff Notes version of what to expect today.
Well, this is our biannual world record game. We run it every 2 years. It's kind of what we would consider a big game in the industry. The guys come, we give them a whole bunch of flags. They got to run to different points out on the field. They got to put their flag there. They got to hold those points on the top and the bottom of the hour. And depending on whether it's a main base or a sub base, they get a different amount of points. And we total the points up at the end of the day, and whoever won, won.
You got all that? Well, what do you say we get to the big game, huh?
Yeah.
Let's get it on. And our scenario action begins with a little speedball action. Now, this is just the edge of skirmish. Back in the woods, there are hundreds and hundreds of acres here in the Poconos. Scenario any way you want it, right, JJ?
Yeah, here we have the red team pushing from the right and the blue team from the left, rushing the speedball field. Just kind of getting the groove on, getting a little play going on, getting the juices flowing.
Oh, the juices never stop flowing here at Skirmish, and later in the show, we'll take you into the woods, red versus blue. But the game's not just played out there on the speedball field, it's also played here in the woods. Psst, psst. Yeah, here in the woods. How's this? Crouching host, hidden paintballer, I guess. I don't know. But it got me thinking sitting in here, how do you approach a game when it's in a forest like this? And how do you take this big game and play it on a smaller scale? Who else to ask but the experts, right?
I'm Tim Skeeter-Dake, here to give you a little information about playing paintball in the woods. The most important thing in playing in the woods, playing paintball in the woods, is movement, cover and concealment, using all of your senses, making sure that you stay in the shadows, being quiet as possible. Now, as far as cover and concealment goes, there's two different types of terrain. If you find a big bunker or a barricade, that offers both cover and concealment. You can also find a tall or a small patch of scrub that will offer concealment, but not actually cover. Somebody can penetrate that with a paintball, and you can get hit eventually. So pick your cover wisely. The other thing is, when you're in the woods, keep moving, keep your angles. You create your own angles. As you create your own angles on your opponent, you're going to get the eliminations. The way that you create your own angles is by matching up trees. You can pick lines where the opponent can't hit you. You can advance on that opponent, and when it's your turn to shoot, you can come out from behind a tree, make the shot, get the elimination.
When you're playing these scenario games, the right clothes are crucial. You want to have some serious camouflage, especially if you're going to be in the woods. I wonder if this does any good. The right camouflage comes from all over the world. You can find it in England, in Holland, Austria, Sweden. There's even types of camouflage called ghillie suits, which are the heavy-duty type of camouflage. We were talking with a guy named Leslie earlier. I wonder where he went. Oh, here he is. Come and talk to me, Leslie. All right. Now, did you make this outfit yourself?
Yes, I did. It took me about 50 hours to make. It's mostly made of a netting and jute twine. Green, black, brown, regular camo colors. It's not bad. Really helps out.
That's incredible. It's incredible. Do you ever get hot when you're out on the field?
It actually can get quite toasty in this thing.
Well, and I bet it keeps you completely covered.
No one can really see me. It's really nice, especially at nighttime, especially with the scenario games you play at night.
The red team hunkered down here at Skirmish 2004 in the Hemlock Field. This is a huge area. It's the big game. That's why they call it that. There's a lot to this scenario stuff, and there's a lot more for you to enjoy when we come back. We'll check out some assault vehicles, scenario style, and we'll discover how every role helps a team reach its goal. All that when PB2X returns. Paintball 2Xtremes is brought to you by National Paintball Supply, the world's largest paintball supplier. By Bob Long, the man behind the world-renowned Intimidator. And by 32 Degrees, cool as ice. Everybody, welcome back to Paintball 2Xtremes. Gosh, you know, I can't help but feel a little overdressed here at Skirmish. A lot of fatigues, the camo, everybody here trying to blend in with the environment. Well, everybody except for those two. Superman and Superwoman, but then again, you never know what to expect when you come to a scenario-type game.
You hear that going on? This is what we love. This is what we come here for, that blood rush.
Courses are great. I mean, we got at least 24 courses you can try out.
It's a good thing to get together with a bunch of people that like the same sport as you. You can get together and play a big game and have a bunch of fun.
You got all masses around just going to get together and have fun.
Even though they're teams against each other, you know, everybody knows that they're here for fun.
When I play, it's usually like a 7-on-7 field with like air bunkers. And out here, it's just like 1,500 on 1,500.
That excitement, that adrenaline.
She's wanted to play ever since she was a toddler. She's finally getting out to play a little bit. Now she's got to get used to getting hit.
Tons of different wooded areas, forts, bunkers, you name it, it's in there.
Swing from a rope or something, go crash into a helicopter.
You can't always find people to play paintball with where you live. This is like where everybody comes.
I can't even fly a copter, but I love the crashing it, you know what I mean? It's great out here.
So there you go, just a few characters that you'll see out here at Skirmish 2004, and you know, it takes more than a few. It takes a whole bunch of characters to get out there and to play this thing, and well, those characters have to have a lot of character. Check these guys out. And some of the players and superheroes took that action back into the woods here at Skirmish. Over 400 acres, as you can imagine. Plenty of nature's obstacles here.
Yeah, along with those nature's obstacles, you have many players running through the woods, all kinds of costumes, some dressed in camo, some taking leadership roles, some this fella carrying the flag. Various roles, various people that really get to choose at what level you want to play and what you want to do.
And no matter what level and what type of game you're playing, communication is key. How do they decide who takes on these roles, JJ?
Different people step into different roles. You may want to lead, you may want to follow, you may just want to charge through the woods and shoot the other team. And that's what's neat about this game.
.258, .263. Have good skirmishing. You ready to roll? Good luck. You got to be under 280 feet per second here on the chronograph. Well, the rules, just like everything else you've seen so far in scenario play, are very different than the tournament play. What's a chronograph? Well, who else are you going to ask but J.J. Brookshire? Let's go now in the safety zone with him. Now, you never want to get hit by a ball coming out of one of these things. First of all, you lose. You're out. But most importantly, sometimes it stings a little bit. Fortunately, though, it doesn't sting too much, and there are rules and regulations on how fast these balls can travel. Right, JJ?
That's right. So we check the velocity, we check the speed of the ball leaving the barrel of the markers prior to play. Whether you play recreationally, you play in a tournament, a scenario game, or just for fun on private property, you should always check your velocity before playing.
And you can do so with a chronograph.
Right, chronograph like this. This is a large radar chronograph, sits on a tabletop. Shoot over the top of it, you get a readout that tells you how fast the ball's traveling. If you're going too fast, you turn the velocity down. Different markers turn the velocity down different ways. In some cases, you're adjusting the pressure as of the input of the gas. In some cases, it's spring tension. In some cases, it's gas flow. But you adjust that brings your velocity to the right level.
You'll see one of these at any organized paintball facility, guys, before tournaments and before scenarios, but then also out on the field, one that's small enough that the referees can actually carry them around.
Right, this is small and it's inexpensive. It's one you can have at home to check the velocity on your markers before you play anytime. Just put it over the end of the barrel, pull the trigger, check the velocity each time.
Check it, spend the money, be safe, and have fun.
As I walk around here at the skirmish games, I've seen all sorts of players whose costumes are not really made with camouflage in mind. So what do you call this outfit?
Well, I don't really have a name for it. I'm just your usual Mexican ostrich rider, I guess.
There was even an alien invasion of sorts.
We are the Borg. We come from the cube.
Sometimes scenario players think less is more. But the question is this Braveheart or brain dead?
A little bit of both. I'm part Scottish, part Irish, so I figured, I went and got the kilt handmade. I figured I was going to go free and easy for the weekend, come out here, get shot a lot, but unfortunately, nobody really hit me. They were all missing. I figured a fat guy in a kilt would be an easy target, but nobody really hit me.
And, hard to believe, being a breakdancing banana boy had its disadvantages.
I was with like 10 other guys, and then they all started looking at me and shooting at me.
We'll be back with more PV2X from the skirmish games in a moment.
In scenario paintball, you're going to find a lot of the same type of equipment that you would find in tournament play. Of course, the marker's always going to be involved, but in scenario paintball, you're going to find an assortment of Mad Max machinery.
They look like something dreamed up using a refugee from a used car lot combined with leftovers from an army surplus sale. But the skirmish game Tank is a unique and vital part of playing large-scale scenario games.
We play paintball all the time, and we got pretty bored one weekend. And we found a really old beater truck, and we were like, that'd be awesome to have a paintball tank to go around to all the big scenarios and all the big games at skirmish. We had to do some metalwork, carpentry, a bunch of stuff like that, assemble it, and we also had to come up with designs for the turret and other special parts.
So with such a luxury ride, how could I resist a chance to see the tank in action?
I'm ready to play.
My perspective from standing upside in the turret is there's all these little guys running around trying to shoot at me, and I pretty much just light them all up. The noise is incredible on the inside the turret. You get sprayed everywhere, whereas down in the cab you get nice and clean, no paint, and everyone's all nice and pretty. It's way different from sitting in the turret.
Oh, there's guys right in front of us. There are guys right in front of us. I am keeping my safety block up.
Oh, there's red guys. Red guys on our right-hand side. Red guys on our right-hand side. As soon as the red gets here, we should be able to start shooting again because they're on our team. Oh, these guns.
He tried to stick the marker through the hole.
All right. Tell Pat to go farther to the right.
So we got Sky, who's standing on this wooden block right here, and he's got his head through a hole in the ceiling, and he's spinning around. He's got a marker in each hand. He's covered in paint.
I originally had red goggles. I really did. They weren't this nasty puke yellow.
My goggles and me when I come out of the turret is just absolutely disgusting. I'm dripping paint, and you breathe in like a paint dust fume. It's nasty.
But despite the noxious and obnoxious atmosphere, Sky still loves his wheels.
It's the best therapeutic thing I have.
Good stuff, Jen. One of these guys is different than the other. One of these guys is not the same. Well, I need to get geared up to be out here hunkered down with the red team. But, talking about hardware, whether it's a great big tank or a small remote like both of these guys have on their backs, the paintballers really rely on their hardware. Just ask Mr. Technician himself, Chris Spina. Check this out.
Well, paintball is so much fun that when you go out to play, usually you end up staying out there all day long, but a day filled with carrying around the marker and a heavy tank gets kind of tiring after a while, and some people choose to use the remote, right, Chris?
That's right, James. Here we have for you guys a coiled remote, all displayed. It's real simple how it works. Basically, there's a male plug adapter. Goes in the back of any standard ASA on any kind of gun. After you get that screwed in nice and tight, you pretty much just need to leave that alone. Plug this into it, the quick disconnect into there. Run the tank around back to your pouch, turn it on, let the air flow through the tank. Now you have just the gun in your hand.
What players would benefit the most from the remote pack?
Players, like you said earlier, they're going to be out in the woods all day. Rec ball players or your scenario-typical player would definitely benefit from that. Also, small children that don't have the upper body strength to carry around a bigger marker, such as that one there.
The Poconos. Here in Pennsylvania, it's a beautiful place. Beautiful trees around here. This is a down hemlock, but there are hemlocks, maples, aspens, tons of great trees, beautiful mountains. It's a shame to see some of these beautiful trees laying on the ground, but you know, sometimes when trees go down, they are used to make paper, and paper's used to make magazines. And Paintball 2Xtremes makes a great magazine.
And here's what you can expect to find in your mailbox or on the newsstand.
Paintball 2Xtremes is brought to you by Diablo. Play with fire. By Empire. It's a lifestyle. And by National Paintball Supply, the world's largest paintball supplier. Getting ready to roll in the blue team insertion point. Hey everybody, I'm James Bates. Welcome back to Paintball 2Xtremes. Now in tournament play, you get hit, you're out for the game. But in a scenario type setting, you play all day long. You don't want to get hit once and go back to the tent. So you pull out your medic card. You get hit once, you take it to the referee. 2 times the referee. And every time the referee stamps one of these punches, you go right back in. But after the 3rd punch, you got to come back out and wait at the insertion point for about 15, 30 minutes, and then you and your guys will head back in. So as they're getting ready to head back in, we'll head into our 1-minute review.
I'd like to introduce the Ripper 2 Intimidator, Bob Long's newest creation, the most dominant, most sought-after paintball marker on the market. This is the new Ripper 2 milling. As you can see, we've cut out a big window to add to the lightness of the gun and attractiveness of the gun. Also, milled right on the side of the body is the Ripper 2 logo. What's included in this marker is the mini LPR of the current Alias guns, fast, efficient, reliable. It's attached to the reg body, which has a built-in volumizer, which eliminates any chance of shoot down. Also included is the clamping feed neck, adjustable clamping feed neck, capable of accepting any hopper on the market. No need to shave down your hopper feed necks. What we've done to add to better balance of the gun is we've decided that we've moved the grip farther forward, and we've moved the feed port back, which allowed for a shorter stroke of the gun. The only thing that limits the rate of fire of this marker is how fast you can pull the trigger.
Earlier in the show, I showed you about ghillie suits. I also got to take a cool ride in a tank, and here I'm with a guy who's actually wearing a ghillie suit and has a piece of equipment that can take out one of those tanks. Tell me a little bit about it.
All right, well, this is called the bazooka, and what it is, it's really like PVC piping right here with a little bit of plumbing pipe and a lever right here, and what you use is a little 12 gram right here to charge it up. And what you do is like you put a little Nerf round in here, a little 2-inch Nerf football, and you shoot it at a tank, and that's how you take it out.
James, if anybody's going out there right now, they might want to watch out for this guy.
There's the owner of Skirmish, Paul Fogel, letting them back in. They're ready to roll. Hey guys, we were over there with the red team earlier. They were talking so much trash. I think it was the dude in camo. So you find that guy in camo and you get him because he's a trash talker. What do you say we get back and see how this blue team does and finish up with a little bit of coverage of Skirmish 2004.
And back to the woods we go, where these guys and girls belong. Having a good time. Oh, and painting up the town.
Yeah, they're painting up the town, they're painting up the woods, the streams, the trees, everything around them. That's what's neat about this. They're out here, the group of people, you're playing as a team, you have objectives you're going after. It's a lot of fun for families, friends alike.
Well, and unlike tournament play, you're hit, you're out. You get hit here, well, you can go out, come on back, reinsert, and literally play until you drop or run out of paint, JJ, whichever comes first.
Yeah, you can play until your heart's content out here. Enjoy the woods, enjoy being out there with friends, and just having a real good time.
There was William Wallace, Borg, just a few of the characters that we've seen all day. Having so much fun that I can't sit by, JJ. Next week, I'm suiting up, dude.
So some hot action out there on the fields at Skirmish 2004, but shoot, the heat doesn't stop there. Goes off the field as well. They always keep me working, and we're working for you guys, because next week's show is great.
You'll meet a dad and his daughters who love to paint it up. Find out why you need to wet your whistle, and we'll get into the game and join the hassle at the castle.
So make sure you flip back to us next Saturday morning right here on Spike. For Jen Pierce and the whole PB2X crew, I'm James Bates. We'll see you next week on Paintball 2Xtremes. How many of you guys need? 4? 4 for them, 4 for me. 4 for them, 4 for me.